The new Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer is finally here, and it is packed with clues about the plot of this movie. They're really giving us a lot here. Let's talk about what this trailer confirms and look at all the hidden details that you might have missed. Let's do it. What is up, guys, and welcome back to Will's Cinematic Universe, where I obsess way too intensely about Marvel movies and shows and trailers after my kids go to bed. My wife says it's a problem. Let's look at all the new details that we get from this trailer and some hidden details that you probably didn't notice. Stick around to the end because the last one is crazy. Oh man, this is gonna be good. So the first thing that is 100% confirmed here with these first few shots of the trailer is we're gonna get incredible cinematography. This is really like next level, and it really combines the things that we love from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies and even like some Iron Man callbacks with that shot inside the mask. We also are getting Peter Parker like living the life of the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in New York, jumping off of buildings, swinging through the neighborhood, all the classic Spider-Man shot with these huge cinematic shots, and I'm really excited about that. Throughout the whole first half of this trailer, Peter is reading his letter to MJ that he hasn't read her, and I actually don't think he's gonna read it to her in this movie. I think he's gonna get interrupted, maybe see her with her new boyfriend. But the thing that we see through this entire trailer is that for the first time ever, Peter is totally alone. He doesn't have MJ, he doesn't have Tony Stark, he doesn't have Aunt May, he doesn't have Ned, he literally has no one. And that's really sad, and it's a really different position than Peter has ever been put in because he's such a social butterfly who literally couldn't keep a secret from his friends, and they were always a part of his life. One of the most powerful clips in this trailer is when we see Spider-Man receive the key to the city, and we'll get to that shot in just a minute. But after that, we see Peter Parker just sitting there holding the key to the city, looking all depressed. Because he's really chosen this life of being the hero that he has the responsibility of being, but he really doesn't get to enjoy any part of his life as Peter Parker. It's really sad. First hidden detail here, let's talk about this key clip. So if you notice, the person giving him the key to the city is Sheila Riviera from Daredevil Born Again. She is the deputy mayor to Wilson Fisk in Born Again Season 1. So I really think that this is more telling than most people think. At the recording of this, Daredevil Born Again Season 2 starts in 3 days, but I do think by the end of Born Again Season 2, Wilson Fisk is no longer going to be mayor of New York, and I think this kind of secretly confirms that. I think that she's going to be the mayor of New York because why as deputy mayor would she be giving Spider-Man, the New York's biggest superhero, the key to New York instead of the mayor doing that? So I guess this is more of an Easter egg for Born Again Season 2, but I think that Fisk is no longer going to be the mayor of New York by the end of that series, and I think that Sheila Riviera is going to be the mayor. Punisher is back, and I am super excited about this. We all knew this was coming, and Marvel has even openly said that, but it's so cool to see him with Spider-Man interacting in this way. It's gonna be a whole new side of his character because in Daredevil and even in his show, he's such a dark character dealing with really serious things. And Spider-Man is the complete opposite of that. He's got this sense of humor, this sarcasm, this youthful spirit, and so I'm really excited to see him and Punisher go back and forth on things. I also really appreciate that Marvel is being true to their characters. They're not really changing their characters a lot between each series and movie, and they're staying true to the character of Punisher, even giving him the classic Punisher van. It's just kind of more of a callback to the comics and who his character really is. A huge part of the plot of this movie is going to be these biological changes that Peter is going through in really becoming a stronger version of Spider-Man. I don't think he's going to be turning into Man-Spider. Sorry. We see a lot of detail of this in several different clips. We see that he gets new natural web shooters. So he's no longer using the devices that he created to shoot his webs, but he's just using his body, which is a cool callback to him asking all of these questions about Tobey Maguire's webs. Well, he's still Peter Parker, but Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. You know what I mean? We see a lot of clips with the webs, and we see that this is pretty confusing to Peter, but it looks like his webs are a lot more powerful. They're super stretchy. stretchy, and he's still trying to figure out like how to condense them and use them the best way. And we see this clip of him and these birds where Peter is basically crashing through his own webs, and you've got all of these birds that like stick to him as he's falling to the ground. He obviously doesn't figure this out overnight, and it's going to be a learning process for his character, and he's gonna have to figure it out. We see this clip of Spider-Man being scanned, and at first glance I didn't know why this was important or what this was about, but then we actually see what the scan shows, and we see listed superior strength, superior agility, heightened senses, enhanced perception. So this is actually showing the changes that Spider-Man's body is going through and showing that he is getting a lot stronger. I don't know, maybe this is just late spider puberty. Stupid. We also see this clip where Peter's eyes turn completely black, and it almost seems like his pupils are opening up completely to let all of his vision in, and we see this clip of him just snapping this sword from the hand, which is really cool. It really seems like his senses and his perception are really being amplified, and he's got to figure that out, and I have this small little hope that maybe Matt Murdock could help with that. He is kind of the expert on amplified senses. Except for this amplified sight thing, he can't help with that. Is Sadie Sink Jean Grey? We still don't get to see her face in this trailer, and I think there's a reason for that. I think that it's implied that she is the one controlling minds here and swapping in between people's consciousness and forcing them to do things. So who is holding her prisoner? This is much more than just like her being captured and being in a cell. This looks like she literally has her own apartment behind glass. This seems super elaborate, which leads me to believe that this is a long-term study that someone is doing on her and not just her being thrown into a jail cell. And I think that the DODC are the ones holding her captive. And then we get all kinds of new villains confirmed. We get Michael Mando's Scorpion, really excited to see him back. Fans have wanted that for a really long time. And then we get this shot of Boomerang, this shot of Tarantula, and then we have multiple shots of the hand, which I feel kind of meh about. They were probably my least favorite part of the Daredevil series. Let me know if that's an unpopular opinion. I just think that ninjas are a little too overdone. Sorry. Okay, huge Easter egg at the end of this trailer, and I didn't notice this like the first 5 times I watched this trailer until I slowed it down. Why did I say until so weird? Until I slowed it down. We see this clip at the end of Ned, Peter, and MJ in their apartment where Peter lives across the hall, and him and Ned are just having this conversation and really looks like becoming friends. And we have this obvious funny line where MJ says, "friendly neighbor," and Peter kind of chokes on his drink. I think the big reason for this is because Peter and Ned are having a conversation about Spider-Man when MJ walks in. The reason that I think this is there is an entire investigation board. What would that be called? Theory board, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, there's a board behind Ned and Peter that is full of pictures of Spider-Man, and this is in Ned and MJ's apartment. I think that this is going to be important. I think that Ned is investigating Spider-Man, and it could be just because he loves Spider-Man and he thinks he's cool, but we've had a lot of Easter eggs in No Way Home that Ned may eventually become a villain. So what if in this version where Ned never knows Peter Parker, he actually hates Spider-Man for some reason and will eventually become a villain? But what do you think? Is this a stretch or am I onto something here? And let me know in the comments, what are you most excited about in this movie? Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one.